Is that how you land at a space where you go, niggas is only gonna respect martial law?
Completely,
Got you.
completely.
Got you. Got
Because
you. Is it the optics and like the theatrics of martial law, or is it like because we've been hearing? I'll never forget the first time of like hearing a rapper say that, and it was someone that people kind of dismiss as this extremist. Killer Mike uh, has been talking about this shit for over a decade. Like shit's coming, clip up, go buy you some property, some land, insulate yourself with weapon, like all, like
yeah, weaponry.
learn how to farm, learn vegetation, like learn all. Brad been saying this in his raps for over a decade, um, and I'll never forget hearing that shit and going, damn. I don't know any, like my God bless her soul, Ella May. Remember her trying to teach me how to plant greens and like season and all, and just kind of dismissing it. Just a kid, like, grandma, why I gotta greens?
Yeah,
We go buy that shit from the
I
store.
got that.
She's like, no, I want to grow my own. I want to plant this lemon tree. I want to do this, and I'm like just being silly. But now in hindsight, like that's my shit. Like peppers, lettuce, greens, all this shit. Like that's my shit now. But we've seen the movies and everything, and it's like artists are creatives, like have imaginations and shit, but they don't be pulling shit out of just thin air, be inspired by something. And so when you say, yo, only gonna respect martial law, what is it about the martial law that activates people? But as you've been alluding to this whole time, by the time it kicks in, it's too late.
Yeah, no, it's over with by then. But the
Talking to just moving that, yeah, you or
my
just
bad.
move it down to you.
Yeah, but no, the so before the martial law part, the build up to it.
Yeah.
So our original thought process on martial law and why it was so present in rap culture, or just like and people that would talk about it, is because the original idea was that they were going to do so much stuff to us as people that we were going, when we pushed the button for rebellion, was going to incite the martial law part. Uh, but then they continuously did shit to us, and we stopped reacting, and we started just creating and putting it in, and displacing it into other creative atmospheres and flows and stuff like that, right? So when something like this comes in, this is where the conspiracy part comes in, is allowing this to come like past the borders. The administration that we have in place, them getting rid of the people that's supposed to see this coming.
Yeah,
Um,
that branch of it wasn't a branch of CIA. What was that? What there's a
It's it's
particular
it's a, it's a pandemic team, but I can't remember the name of it.
yeah.
But it was something that Obama had in place,
The-
and this was part of the administration undoing everything that Obama had
just to
done in
remove,
office.
just
So
to
they
just to
removed,
completely erase that legacy.
just
Yeah,
to, just completely erased it. So that was part of the teams that they erased, and
There-
this seeped into the
and
U.S.
because you touched on that. I feel like you've been touching on it the last few episodes, but to clarify that, G, and to dial it in, there was a specific subset group that their sole purpose was to track and nip this type of shit in the bud.
In a bud before it gets out. Yes, before it becomes a pandemic. I don't think people know like what pandemic actually means, and how big of a word that actually is when they start using that.
Yeah.
That word, you haven't heard pandemic be used as much as it's been used recently.
No.
And when they use that, it just creates
The whole point is not to have to say that word.
yeah, but when you do, and when you make it normal, is when a lot, like receiving the full control over the government, being able to having a part of that be that you can instill martial law. We've been using pandemic a lot. You know what I mean? Like, those are words that you use that you can have people agree to. You know what? Martial law is the best plan of action.
Push the button.
Push the button, go for it. But for this one, it probably won't be California. They hate California. You'll probably see tanks and New York.
Push and I were just talking about that. Like the numbers in New York are staggering in comparison to everyone everyone else.
Yeah.
Less than 10% and everywhere else in comparison to New York, something crazy like that
14,000 cases in New York,
alone.
and then like 1,700 in Washington, and then like 1,300 in Cali.
Yeah.
And remember, with that information, we also don't have access to tests.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more than that, which is when I was saying the martial law thing and people not taking it seriously and people not recognizing what these large numbers mean and knowing that we don't have testing in order to even know that people have it.
Yeah.
That's when the predictions of 150 million people receiving it and whatever numbers from that drops off and dies, that number becomes a lot more real to me. The more and more I see how people do not respond correctly to something like this, because we could have easily went in, stayed out the way, not socialized with each other. We can still socialize, but not, get together in these groups, go out, stuff like that.
But niggas don't. That's the fucked up part. And this is where I get frustrated with people. Niggas been weird and not really fucking with each other. Like, and now all of a sudden niggas want to be outside.
Like they in there. I mean, folks been at the lake playing football, bro. They out there playing volleyball. You still touching the same ball, right? That folks was in San Francisco playing basketball, rubbing up against each other, sweating and shit.
But what's gonna happen, OG? It's like where was you? Where speaking in reference to us?
Yeah.
Where's y'all niggas conspiracy energy now? And it's like it's not. This just don't feel like the time to play. I'm not, and I don't, and I'll speak for myself. Mm-hmm. I don't be playing on that other shit either. To be keeping a buck with you, I don't be playing on that other shit either. I'm just saying right now, I'm man enough to be like, I don't know, I'm confused, but because that's what type of time it is, let me abide by this for the sake of others around me. Because I feel if something were to come, I feel healthy enough to fight whatever. Like it ain't gonna have shit to do with me.
Speaking of that, you wanna know another bean?
Huh.
I got another bean for you.
Here we go.
Folks are locked up now. They're taking it a little bit more serious, right?
Yeah.
But they're still getting together, still partying together.
Yep.
What do people do when they come together and they socialize, especially at night? They
drink, smoke, pass the shit around.
Hey man, alcohol is a poison that you put into yourself. Mm-hmm. It's built to it's here to break down your immune system.
All them sugars in there immediately.
We're dealing with something that breaks attacks broken down immune systems. Yeah. Hey folks, man, have your fun, man. Yeah. I get why folks don't go out on a limb on a lot of these topics and try to talk to large bodies of people at the exact same time.
Yeah,
because it's nerve wracking.
I was glad, I was grateful for your gems, what you dropping in the group text. I was grateful. Push was like, yo, I've been on this shit, because my niggas in school still. And seen it from a whole different vantage point of a school that's heavily populated by foreigners and people who did the holiday travel and went directly to where the source was. So it was like, yo, let me sit my ass down early. I ain't seen you. I haven't seen, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like if nothing, the people around me, I really appreciate how y'all are moving and going about it. Lex, he's in the heart of in the midst of a really big project and could be like, fuck that, I'm gonna get it. Nah, let's fall back and pivot and figure out other ways to go about expression and content building and stuff. So I'm just glad to be here and glad that y'all are approaching it the way that you guys are. Beyond that, like when I'm driving and because I've driven by the lake too, G, and seen that shit and be like, yo, niggas is tripping. Like outside, and like that's cool. Like I'm glad that's where you at in your brain with it. But for the sake of everyone around me, take my black ass home.